Good day, sir. Can I have a moment of your time to speak about the God Emperor of mankind? The God Emperor? That sounds a bit heretical. Did someone... No, calm down. What do you got to say? I've kind of been looking for someone since the heresy. Well, maybe instead of telling you, I could show you. You see, in the grim darkness of the far future, where there is only war, there probably wouldn't need to be as much war if these guys would stop their endless crusade. An undying bastion of faith and fury, the Black Templars are the soldiers of the God Emperor. They're zealots, crusaders, the Knights of St. John turned to 1200, continuing on with their white monster, their bantees, their heavy metal. They've turned their righteous fury into an unending campaign of destruction against heretics, Xenos, and anyone foolish enough to oppose the Imperium. In fact, anyone that's not legit 100% human. You could have like a third eye, still be a human, but have some weird genetic defect. Dead, not the Imperial truth. You see, in the galaxy, defined by unrelenting roar, blind fanaticism, and unspeakable horrors, one chapter of Space Marine stands apart, refusing to bow, refusing to compromise, and outright rejecting any rules put by them. These guys are the Black Templars. Crusaders, as I've said. But funnily enough, they've got no holy home. Kinda do, not really. With no end to their war, they've got nowhere else to go, right? And most certainly no regard for this Codex Astartes shitty book that someone wrote. Now let's take a journey, history, ethos, badassness of the Black Templars. And also Sigi, because we got to talk about Sigismund. Who are they? The Black Templars are a fleet-based chapter of the Space Marines, born of the second founding. Basically, when the Codex was established, we'll get into that, got shut down into bigger chapters, got shut down into smaller chapters, 1,000 of them to be precise, but these fuckers don't have 1,000. There's only myths, there's only theories of how many they've got, but they just won't listen. So, when the massive legions of the Great Crusade were broken down into smaller ones, they're the spiritual successors of the Imperial Fists, led by their founder and High Marshal Sigismund. Unlike other chapters, the Black Templars didn't settle on a single homeworld. Instead, they embrace the van life, the grey nomads, taking to the stars on what they call an Eternal Crusade. Now, to understand these guys, you've probably got to understand a bit more about Sigismund. He wasn't just any space marine. During the Great Crusade, Sigismund served as the first captain of the Imperial Fists, Rogel Dawn's right-hand man. His martial skills were unmatched, and his faith in the Emperor was absolute. During the Horus Heresy, Sigismund was chosen by the Emperor himself to serve as the Emperor's first champion, wielding one massive fucking black sword, and personally leading charges against the heretics, who traded allegiance. He became a symbol of the Imperium's defiance during the Siege of Terror, and slayed countless foes in one-on-one combat. This guy holds a sword to gunfights in some weird Jedi mastery way, doesn't fucking get hit by bullets, powers through them, keeps fucking walking with his sword and faith. When the heresy ended and the Codex Astartes was introduced to reorganize the legions, Sigismund's unshakable faith and uncompromising nature made him the perfect choice to lead a new chapter. Thus, the Black Templars were born. There's a whole set of background there that we can get into it one day. From the beginning, they were different. They outright rejected the Codex Astartes, instead organizing their forces into one massive fucking crusade. And Sigismund, now High Marshal, took his zealous warriors into the stars, vowing to never rest until every enemy of the Emperor was destroyed. The Eternal Crusade is the defining feature of the Black Templars. While other chapters might have fought wars and retreated home to regroup, the Black Templars haven't stopped. For 10,000 years, these fuckers just go pillage the next city, just purge everything in their way, burn everything to the ground, Roman Empire times 1,000. Each crusade is led by a marshal consisting of dozens, and consists of dozens or even hundreds of Space Marines, ranging from battle-hardened veterans to fresh faces still proving their worth. Their fleet-based nature gives them incredible flexibility. Black Templars can deploy their forces wherever they're needed most, responding to threats with terrifying speed and precision, literally flying over. Oh, why don't we just go fuck them up for a day? Oh, why don't we just go slay all the Nids here? Oh, why don't we just go slay the Xenos here? Literally never stopping. They're just in a big air blimp, just like nuking cities as they go past. Just fuck it, they're not one of us. Let's see what they've got. And they're also constantly recruiting. When a neophyte proves their worth, they're elevated to a rank of initiate and assigned to a mentor. This mentor-apprentice relationship ensures that the chapter's martial traditions are passed down through generations. Now, one of the more unique aspects of the Black Templars, as I'm sure you've already been made aware as I keep calling him the God Emperor, is their intense religious zeal. Unlike most Space Marines, the Black Templars openly worship the Emperor as a god. They see him as a divine instrument, chosen to purge the galaxy of heresy, their absolute faith, and it's reflected in everything they do. From their rituals to battle cries, they're known for their strict adherence to vows, which takes place before every battle. These vows dictate their conduct in combat, whether it's a pledge to never retreat or a promise to seek out and destroy the enemy's leaders. This zealotry extends to their hatred of psykers. While most chapters have a Liberius, the Black Templars shun psykers entirely. They see the use of psychic powers as dangerously close to heresy, relying on raw martial might and the purity of their faith. The power of Christ compels you! The Black Templars' relationship with the Codex Astartes can be summed up in one word: no. They've always operated outside the bounds of the Codex, organising their forces into crusades, and that means their numbers can be in the thousands. The Defiance hasn't gone unnoticed though. Other chapters, even the Inquisition, have raised eyebrows at these unorthodox practices, but the Black Templars don't fucking care. Their loyalty is to the Emperor in its absolute. They're willing to break the rules if it means fulfilling their duty. Them existing is even a breaking rules of the Emperor. Some say that if the Emperor came back to see what they were doing, he'd fucking smite them all. But why do they reject the Codex? You see, the Codex is a guide for disciplined warfare, but to the Black Templars, it's a leash. And Sigismund believes that a war is a holy act, and to impose limitations on a holy act is heresy in itself. Why limit your numbers when the enemy's numbers continue to grow? Why settle for defense when the Emperor demands total victory? The Templars took Guilliman's Codex, wiped their ass, threw it out the spaceship, continued on. Instead, they embrace a decentralized structure, with each Crusade fleet acting as its own autonomous force. This allows them to respond rapidly to threats across the galaxy. It wasn't just rebellion, it was a statement of purpose. These guys are crusaders, knights on a holy quest, and they answer to no one but God himself. When it comes to combat, the Black Templars have one primary philosophy: get in close and kill everything. They are masters of close combat, favouring chainswords and power weapons over ranged fire tactics. Their battle tactics are built around overwhelming the enemy with sheer ferocity. They charge headlong into the thick of battle, smashing everything through enemy lines, cutting down anything that stands in their fucking way. Even if you're semi-human, you're copping this black. This love for melee is embodied in the Emperor's champions. But every major battle, the chaplains of the Black Templar select a warrior to don their black armor and take up a black sword. This champion becomes a living embodiment of the Emperor's wrath, seeking out the greatest champions and challenging them to single combat. It's a deadly role, but for honor. The Black Templars have a history filled with legendary battles. During the 13th Black Crusade, they stood up against the forces of chaos in the defense of Cadia. Even as a planet broke apart beneath their feet, these fuckers did not stop, their faith unshakable in the Sanctus Reach campaign. They took the fight to the Orcs, carving a bloody path through this green-skinned horde time and time again. The Black Templars have proven their worth as one of the Imperium's most fearful chapters. Other notable battles are, I'm going to butcher the Verniculus Crusade, one of the most infamous campaigns. This was a 200-year crusade against heretical uprising, where they swept and burned fanatical heretics, cementing their reputation as the purifiers of the galaxy. In the Armageddon Wars, the Templars played a pivotal role in defending the Hive of Armageddon against the Orcs of Gazakul Thraka. That's one word. They were relentless, charging headfirst in battle against impossible odds. For the Black Templars, retreat is not an option. The Gerulus Crusade, A testament to their zealous faith, the Templars destroyed an entire Xenos campaign, refusing to stop until every single fucking one was purged to the ground. Total annihilations is what we're going for. Now let's go on to my personal reasons why I like us a bit more. The Black Templars are the ultimate Space Marine power fantasy. Their relentless, uncompromising and utter devotion to their cause, they're the Knights of the Grimdark Future, wielding chainswords instead of lances, and fighting for gods they'll never meet. Their defiance of the Codex and their fleet's nature gives them an aura of independence. If you want aura turned up to 10,000 in the 41st millennium, you're looking here. And let's be honest, it's undeniably awesome that these fuckers just keep going. They do not stop. We're not sitting back. Someone dies, we keep going through. We're powering through. We're picking up the next kid from the next world and we're just continuing on. It's a drive-through. It's a fucking drive-through of crusading. The Black Templars are more than just Space Marines. They're a symbol of the Imperium's undying resolve. They embody the Emperor's vision of humanity as the conquering force, purging the galaxy of all that would threaten our survival. Whether you're drawn to rich lore, or badassness, or aesthetics, or the playstyle that happens on the tabletop, let's not forget about that. These guys are the be-all and end-all of what 40k stands for. Blind fanaticism. Long live the God Emperor.